Today, my luscious little lovelies, we're going to make a fairy skirt. It also doubles as a great harlequin or jester skirt or a bandana skirt pattern. You'll need obvious sewing stuff plus elastic for the waistband. So first we need a pattern. Start with a square. If you're making a bandana skirt, it's fairly easy seeing as it's already almost a square. You know what I mean if you've ever tried to fold it diagonally. However, if you're working with raw fabric, you'll need to draw a square paper pattern. How big? Good question. It's up to you, depending on how low you want the skirt to drop and how high you want the highest drop. Not hard, but then you have to kind of do this whole equation thing to find out the hypotenuse of the square, you know, where a squared plus b squared equals c squared minus the cute corner that will no longer be. As best as I can explain it is this. You have your square. This part right here, tip your head to the left, comes off. You're left with a Superman patch like this. The red dashed lines indicate the highest drop of the skirt, and the blue arrow indicates the lowest drop of the skirt. So if W means your waist in inches, W times 2 should nearly equal the top line of the Superman times how many panels you want. Something along those lines. You know what? This is so confusing for some of you, so here's what I do. Without so much dire and doom, I want my lowest drop to be about 18 to 20 inches, so adding some seam allowance, I'll go for 22 inches. I've got some grid paper to make it easier to see. Measure it out to 18 inches by 18 inches. Measure in from one corner 8 inches on both sides and draw a line connecting. Cut off that corner and save it for later if you like. Pin the pattern to your fabric and start cutting out the panels. I aimed for 6, which does not equal double my waist, but works for me. 7 is my usual norm, but I'm using alternating colors, so... Also, one of the panels is about an inch larger than the others because of how I added the elastic. Trial and error is human, but foresight is glorious. Back to the laundry. 6 panels. Yum. Pair up 2 panels at the short ends and sew them right sides together. Toward the top part of the panels, the waist, I ended the stitch on an angle. It's just much easier to fold them down later. Press all your seams. You'll have something like these. Pair them up and sew them together too. Now this is hard to describe, but at that funny angle you sewed, tuck your finger in, fold the corners down, and pin across the waistline. Iron this down all the way around. Now for a waistband. Feel free to use a solid strip of fabric, or if you're like me and love to make everything schnazziful, you could possibly make some hem binding. Frick. Mini tutorial for ya. This is going to be quick. 2 strips, an inch more than double the elastic thickness and however long. Use a cutting board angle guide, or if you have some triangles from a drafting set, I opted for the obtuse angle on the isosceles. Big words for ya. Forgive this notion because all the angles should be in the same direction. This is the set that joins up in the front because I'm notorious for odd details. Anyway, so you put your 2 little parallelograms face to face like so with a little overlap that matches your seam width. Sew together and bah! So, the skirt. This is my oversized panel cut down the center, but whatever you do, I'm sure it's fine. Pin the waistband to the inside of the waistline on your panels and sew. Deliciousness. All neat and tidy and whatnot, but it's okay if you get one of these. Time and elastic heal all wounds. Okay, the bottom hem. Iron it down first if you're not me and impatient. This hem is fun because it's all one continuous stitch. Start at one end of the skirt and go, go, go. When you get to the first corner, pull the bottom up and sew up to the middle of the fold. Then pause, lift your presser foot, turn the fabric 90 degrees, and keep going. Sweet deal. Now, grab your elastic, thread it through the waistband, and pin both edges. We're almost done. Pin the skirt face to face so it's inside out, sew the last panel back to itself, and ta-da! A fine fairy skirt, if I should say so myself, and I frickin' do. Let's see, some closing advice. The lighter your fabric, the better. The more panels you have, the better. If it's for a child, use a smaller square. If you're using alternating panels, the closer the fabrics match in material likeness, the better. If you're using bandanas, sew from the bottom of the skirt to the top so you won't have to hem it. And also, be brave enough to wear it out and rock it. And rock it you shall. Keep on crafting.